back to another episode of the Kramer Jackman show. And it's been a while since we've had one, but today we have a special guest. We have the cannon arm, the guy who can throw the ball over the mountains, Josh Miller. Josh, how you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you, Kramer?
You know what? It's a nice Wednesday night, relaxing, talking to one of my buds here on the team of the Denver Nightwings. It can't get any better than that.
No, it can't.
So Denver, we're 9-3 right now, led by yours truly, Josh Miller, with being able to listen to Jeremy Vega, have him even also with Michael Goodman, being able to listen to all those plays in the headset before that timer clicks, so you can't hear him anymore. You're pretty much you run the show.
Oh, I don't know about that. I mean, it's a whole team effort. Gerard's been putting a lot of work on the ground. I mean, he really deserves all the credit, but I think it's just really been a whole team effort this year.
Just think about it though. If you don't get that ball from our center, nothing would happen.
I'm I'm flattered
It's
to hear you
truth.
say that, so thank you. But yeah, I guess yeah. But I mean, we've really had a balanced season. I mean, there were times when our offense really slowed down, but at the same time, then the defense stepped up for us, and we had a couple good defensive games, and then also we put 70, or we put a whole lot of points over Vancouver. So that, I mean, that was a
That was a
it
fun game.
was, yeah, it definitely was to watch. Fun. It was all around fun. But I mean, yeah, I can't take all the credit, but because it's been a real. I mean, you too with that perfect on the season. I don't think of. I mean, that's insane to have a kicker go perfect, no misses on the year.
Yeah, I went into the stats wise today because I'm working on something real quick, and I noticed it says I'm 28 for 28, and I know for a fact I'm 29 for 29. So if you're listening to this, who's the stats keeper, give me my extra kick.
They must have robbed you of one somewhere along the line.
uh,
Ghost field goal.
I mean, they probably thought to it. With my 350 yarders, they should probably just add that as being two kicks, being able to go in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But we are 9-3. We're gonna head in. We
Yes,
are
we are.
the number 2 seed in the playoffs, and I feel like we're gonna be fine.
I mean, we were really only 1 yard short of being that one seed, but I mean, I don't like to talk. We don't like to talk about that. So
Hey, no lie, that was a great. We had 45 seconds to get the ball down.
yeah,
What
yeah,
was it,
that's
80
what I was
yards?
thinking too. Yeah,
Just being able to do that, that shows that this team is. You can't count us out. I mean, you really
y-
can't count anybody out in the SFL, but we're one of those teams that I mean, you might be able to sleep on us like everyone else did in the first. What was it? The first 7 games we went 7-0.
for real.
People weren't expecting us to do that. Then we finally hit the power rankings, and we hit that power rankings curse where you're number
Yeah,
one and you lose. That's what usually happens. But going
I,
into the playoffs right now, like what? I mean, of course we want to win, and honestly, the way it looks, I could see us winning it all. I'm not
I,
trying to be
I mean,
cocky or anything.
I sure hope that's what happens. Of course, I wouldn't say that I don't want that to happen. And
If it's a
I
tie
mean,
game, and say it's a tie game, I hope it's not a tie game with like 30 seconds left. Get me to that 40-yard line. I got us.
I mean, yeah, we did have. I mean, if we had a little bit better clock management in this last game against Vancouver, we could have had maybe an extra timeout or two to take that timeout at the one and hand it off to Gerard, who could just punch it in. But I mean, like, it's just yeah. I really think we have what it takes, and if knowing that we're only 1 yard short of that one seed, I mean, and this seeding really doesn't even matter as long as we have home field advantage still until if we meet Alaska, we'd play there. But for the most part, we will be at home. So
Definitely. And right now, I mean, we haven't lost at home, so that's what's perfect for us.
yeah, yeah, we have a fortress at Denver. So
And also, our best thing, like one of our key points on our team, is that defense. Like we have the most underrated defense, I believe, in the SFL.
I agree. I definitely agree. I know we're going to talk about this later, but I definitely think we had a couple of players get robbed of voting for awards for the Pro Bowl and for the well, not just for the Pro Bowl, but for awards for the season.
Oh, I
I
agree.
think a couple of our players undeservedly got robbed of being selected to at least being voted for.
Hey, I'm fine with talking about that right now because I feel like MVP, Jared. He,
I mean, I gave you a perfect segue there, I
yeah,
guess.
yeah, you did. Hey, you
But
should probably run one of these podcasts.
I don't know about that.
No, but Jared, man, he's
Yeah,
McChesney he's a horse. I mean, I know he's on one of them with the Offensive Player of the Year, but
yeah.
man,
I mean, I do think he did might have gotten robbed. Not might have, but definitely got robbed. And I mean, Zach Sandlin, the Sandman, as they call him,
mhm.
uh, he he deserves it too. But I wish we could have just had the two of them be on there. And I don't know if you've seen it, but there's been an argument tonight about whether players with a losing record or they didn't make the playoffs, whether they should win MVP or not. And uh, Tom Pepper, if you're listening to this, no disrespect, but I don't know. I think Gerard deserved that, but hopefully that's not a hot take. I hope he doesn't get mad at me for that if he listens to this podcast. But
So you're pretty much saying Tom Pepper, you're trash. I'm joking. I'm joking. Just completely joking.
I mean, he had a
I'm
good season
completely
overall.
joking.
He had a good season and all. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, like you see, James Harden MVP last year. They didn't win. The Rockets didn't win. Patrick Mahomes.
All right. So before you cut out, you were talking about you said Patrick Mahomes, and I was going to cut you off there because man, Chiefs are terrible in my opinion.
I was just saying that. I mean, James Harden, Patrick Mahomes, all these MVP winners, of their respective leagues. They it's not like they didn't make the playoffs or anything. It's not like you had a player on the Cleveland Browns. Although I hate, knock on wood, hopefully that doesn't happen this year. That one of them does. They didn't, or 2 years ago when they didn't even win a single game. And I mean that's kind of an exaggeration, but I mean if you have one good player and they can't lead their team to the postseason. In my opinion, I don't think they should get the nod. But I mean, the SFL is a little bit different with their rules, so
True.
and their voting is a little bit different. So I mean, so yes, I think Gerard did definitely get robbed.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like he should definitely be on there, and also another one that should be on one of the like the defensive players of the year.
Yes.
Mike Shawchuck, man. I think it's Shawchuck. I I look at it. I want him to come on one of the Kramer Jackman shows so he can pronounce his name right for me in his native tongue because I know like he's from Sweden.
I
So
I'm not sure. I don't.
he's like he might say Mike Shawchuck.
I want to say he's from Germany, but I don't. I don't want to.
I'm not trying to make you
Not
mad,
agree.
Mike. If you're listening, I'm
No
sorry.
offense, Mike.
It's all for the love and the yoga here at that Denver.
But yeah, definitely. I think maybe not even Mike, but especially Nick.
Oh yeah,
I'm
Nick too. Yeah,
especially surprised that he didn't even make the list for Defensive Player of the Year
because
because I mean, how many interceptions did he finish with on the season?
hold on, I got that. I'm actually writing something about that. Okay, I guess I didn't write about that. Let me look real quick. But I think it was. I'm gonna say it was. I don't know why I just clicked on teams. I just clicked the back button to get to him. I'm gonna say it's
Last
13.
time, I remember last time, one number I remember is he had 7 at one point, which is still really good.
Oh, very good.
And but he's just still. I felt like he was one of the most prominent players on the defense, almost if that captain, so to speak. Like he was the leader of that defensive unit.
Oh yeah, easily, easily. I mean, and also Nick came in around the same time you did. Nick had
Yeah, yeah.
he had 9 interceptions. He also had 11 pass deflections, and he also has a touchdown on the season for this year. It's an incredible season. And speaking of that, let's talk a little bit about that. You guys joined at the same time around season 10 in the winter of 2018. Uh,
Yeah,
yeah, go ahead.
he might have joined like a couple weeks before me because I think I remember seeing him on the team before I was, and he was a scout for the old owner, Greg Corky. But yeah, we joined it. I guess yeah, that's right. We joined the same season, so.
So how's that been? Well, we'll venture off here. How's that been going from an owner to a different owner like Jeremy? And did you ever thought about not staying and moving to Denver?
Well, I'm sure he doesn't want to hear this, but
Oh, who cares? It's
yes,
Jeremy.
there was. I mean, there was that at one point whenever he did announce that he was going to be giving up ownership. Whenever we weren't sure if we were actually going to have a team the next season, so we kind of were forced to have that decide where we were going next, almost. But then they came along and said that there was going to be a new owner, and I eventually decided that I was going to stay because that first season, we were in the playoffs that season and we lost to Indy, so I thought, well, I don't want to just leave this team because we made it to the playoffs. I know we can get there again, and I want to lead this team to through the playoffs, at least one win. But for this season, definitely not one win. Not two wins, but we want to win the whole thing. So
Yeah,
I
no,
I feel
definitely.
like I owe that to this club because I mean, I was given the chance, so I feel like I owe it to this team to win it all.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Like I feel like even when I even got drafted, just this past season, this past draft, I've thoroughly. I mean, I love Denver. It's what we do in our group message. It's freaking hilarious. Like I feel like I can get a kick out of
Yeah,
anything. I mean, I know it has been a little bit quiet in the past 2 days, but still, we're a big we're a Denver Nightwing family. That's what we are.
I feel one of the biggest things that Jeremy's done is interacting with each other. I feel like that's one of the biggest things that he's done. He's changed the atmosphere,
Yeah, because
and
he's
that
even
we're
he's
all
like
active in the chat.
oh yeah, Josh, I want you on. I want to hear your voice or something like that along the lines. And I was just like, hey, let's do a podcast.
Yeah, yeah, but I mean, we're all talking to each other, and then we're all talking in the other servers or the other channels on the Discord too, and we're also one of the first to get all our progression in each week. So
Yeah, we're
I feel
nice about
like
that.
he's just changed the atmosphere in that respective category. Just we're all very active, and I feel like that's one of the major things that other teams need to look at too, and see that that's a major thing.
Because it was like what the first was it 8 maybe 10 weeks of the season we had a what was it? We had to do like not like a task almost, but something that would just for fun. Like what was it? One of them was
Yeah, yeah.
they were
That
playing
if
San Jose. I remember this one because of the Sharks. We did something about a meme. I think it was.
yes,
Gosh,
yeah,
these the little weekly tasks. I really do enjoy those because I mean it shows personality of us. Because I mean honestly, how many of us are actually going to communicate with each other minus text or joining in a podcast to talk to each other and like actually get to know one of each other? I mean, that's perfect of how he's trying to bring that connection with all of each other.
yeah. Definitely. I was gonna say something about that. I know. Yes, it seems like we haven't been doing those in recent weeks, but still,
Yeah, Jeremy,
I
pick
feel
it
like
up.
that. And I mean, I think it's served its purpose though, because now it's kind of like we do all just come in. We don't like before. It was like he did that to get us to start talking, to get us to start posting it, and now we just do it without even realizing it. So
Yeah, because like I even just post like my random stuff in there. I was like, hey, this is what I'm doing
yeah,
today. I'm doing all this crap. Hey, here's what I put yesterday. I put my home run calls in from when I called a baseball game for my college.
yeah,
I was like, I don't care. You guys can listen to it. You guys can hear how stupid I sound at times. 'Cause, I mean, honestly, I talk for a living, so I'm used to me sounding stupid. So it works.
yeah. And I think if any other staff from other teams is listening to this and they're wondering how they can be the next Denver. I mean, that's kind of sounds self-absorbed, I guess, because well, I mean, it's coming from me, who's on Denver. But I mean, who can be the next Denver? Who could take their team from having a going from bottom four in the league to having the second best or being the second seed in the SFL and having the tied best record. So I think one big thing that they need to do is get activity up in their lockers and have everyone be engaged with one.
And you had that segue in before, and I'm doing one right here as why Jeremy Vega should be the coach of the year because of what he's done with Denver.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. Voice connection is kind of
I
wonky
said
today.
for like segue purposes that this Jeremy Vega should be the coach of the year for the SFL.
Yes, and I did say that earlier. I told that to him earlier too. I mean, and he says he's not going to win it, and I don't think you're right, Jeremy. I think you definitely deserve it because we went from 3-9 last year, and we swapped those two columns and made it 9-3. So
Which is perfect because like even I mean I'm a little statistics kind of junky a little bit, and I of course go back and forth on all of ours and stuff, like on our team page and comparing how last season to this season. Just look at you. You have thrown 50. You have excuse me on this one. You have thrown less than 60 more passes than last season, but you also have completed less than 50 more passes, and you're still from your 2,994 passing yards of last year. I mean, you're only 200 yards shy of that, and you did that with less than 50 more completions. So I mean, it's working from on the Discord and from what he's trying to do through his playbook side and scheming. Is just helping the Denver all around, and that's even full with even go back to Nicholas Warner. Last season, I think it showed they had 5 interceptions, had 9 this year. Even with the deflections, I always say that's a running gag for myself. The D in Denver stands for deflections because that's what we do.
yeah, yeah. Some of those we wish we could turn into interceptions, but I mean, yeah, definitely. I I think definitely the acquisition of Mark halfway through the season. Mark Goodman or Michael Goodman. Sorry. Oh no.
Yeah, I felt okay. I'm just gonna say this right now. I felt so bad when I was like in the chat earlier saying, "What happened to Avery?" And I didn't realize he changed
Yeah.
his name, and I was
Yeah.
like, "Oh, I felt so bad. I felt like an idiot. I haven't really been paying attention for 3 weeks." I was like, "Ah, man, I'm
I
so sorry."
yeah. For some reason, I felt like his name was Mark Goodman, but I'm so sorry. But I do think your acquisition was. I mean, that was amazing. I mean, it's very hard to just be doing all the coaching by yourself, and I really think that it's much easier to have someone else that's there helping you.
Yeah, no, I completely agree because you can tell through some games what we saw that McChesney was running the ball a lot. I mean, why don't you just if it's broken,
Yeah.
don't fix it. But then there's times where, I mean, he got to his 100 yards, but it took him about 40 attempts, and at times it's like maybe probably should have thrown the ball a little bit here. And I mean, I that's just from my standpoint. I don't know how yours was on that one. I mean, my opinions are my opinions only. Sorry, Jeremy, but it's true. But like yeah, at times it feels like it was not a little lackluster, but hey, we're 9-3, so it doesn't really matter because I mean we're in the playoffs. It's great.
Yeah, I definitely think the strategy at the beginning of the season was awesome, and then about halfway through the season, teams like New Orleans, London, they started to pick up on what we were doing,
All
and
that
they
London
started
game.
to yeah, they started to realize that hey, we're putting it on the ground a lot more than other teams are. So I think they started to put it on the ground a lot more, and then I mean my play kind of dropped halfway through the season, and that's my fault that I threw a lot of bad passes and interceptions. So, but and then near the end of the season now, I think I fixed that for sure.
Oh no, for real.
And I mean, as long as I feel position in the playoffs doesn't even really matter. We figured out our we figured out what we were doing again at the end of the season. We figured out our identity, so to speak, and now we're ready for the playoffs because we know what we're trying to do. And yeah,
Yeah, no, exactly. We know what we're trying to do. We got that home field advantage for the first couple of games that are going to be through here, and I honestly the sky's the limit for us. And if we still keep that home territory and possibly bring that on the road when it's needed, I think we'll be okay. Even though we've lost the 3 games that have been on the road, what
Yeah,
is it? The other
yeah.
3 have what is it a split? I can't remember if we've played 3 or 4 on the road that we've won. So we're
I,
still at least going 500 on the road or a little bit above that. That's like I'm probably gonna say 560 or something like that.
yeah, and I definitely think that our 3 losses aren't, I, I don't know, hot like easy losses, I guess you could say. We played 3 very difficult teams on the road.
It's true.
Vancouver it's not easy just to win at Vancouver, and we were only 1 yard away from winning. So, and
Yeah,
then
that's just a bad taste in the mouth right there.
Lon- London was a very hot team near the end of the season, and I mean I forget, did they make the playoffs?
I think they're in the wild card. I'm not 100% sure on that
I
one.
cut I wait, no, I don't think so because what Tallahassee and Queen City play, and hold on, I can look too. I have the website up as well.
I'm trying to skim through it right now.
Yeah. Oh, no, they did not.
Oh
Queen
man,
City and Tallahassee, and then Las Vegas and Sioux Falls. But yeah, I definitely think that London, because I think they had the same record as Las Vegas and Queen City, I think.
hmm
And I think they definitely deserved to get in because they were a really hot team. It's a shame because I know that they've been wanting to get in the playoffs, and I don't think they've made the playoffs yet. And I think they were robbed. And then also, New Orleans is definitely going to be a team to watch out for in the playoffs. They were whatever they have all their cylinders firing on offense. It's you got to watch out because they are very very hot team on offense.
I've noticed with these with how streaky teams can get really quick and really fast and really early in games, if you want to say as well. And that happens like with every other team. It seems like every single week, the team that's like, oh, hey, they might not win this game. They end up putting up like what 40 points. That's what it's so crazy how. I mean, I'm not trying to say we're gonna get upset in the first round, but there's a good chance. There's a lot of good teams out there.
I I yeah. I mean, we just have to be ready. That's all I could say. I mean, luckily, we have that home field advantage, and I really think that's going to be a deciding factor. And I know that we'll have for those extra days that we can scheme and plan for the game. We'll have our 2 coaches planning their their best for this game, so I think we're ready.
Oh yeah, oh for sure. Let's move on away from the postseason, season awards and stuff, and let's get to know the real Josh Miller. So I'm gonna ask you this questions. Feel free to answer them. I mean, they're not gonna be like hard questions like what's the square root of 32. It's not gonna be something like that.
Oh, don't ask me that.
I think it'd been funny if you answered it right off the bat. I'm like, okay, this guy's a math whiz. But first question is, if you were to pick any sport in like say football, baseball, basketball, soccer, like which one is your favorite and why?
Oh, I mean, I don't. I feel like it makes me feel bad for saying not football, but
Yeah,
because
I'm a huge baseball fan, and that's me.
I I think you should be saying like, what's your favorite sport outside of football, so it doesn't make the football team look bad that they say someone else.
There's a reason why I'm a kicker in the SFL.
Okay, so outside of football, I'll say my favorite sport is soccer. It's just amazing to learn all the history, and I mean, fans are intense, and I don't know. I've talked about them for a while in the sports channel, but I mean, Liverpool's my team. We're on.
No, so you
It's
watch
our
Premier League.
year. Yes, it's our year to win the title this year. We haven't won it in the era of the Premier League, which has been like 22 years. So
Mm-hmm.
everyone's excited. Hopefully, it's intense. For the title race is intense right now, but it's just there's so many fans across the world. It's just so it's all the fans are passionate, and it's so relieving when they score, or if it's just the passion is there. It's just intense. That's
I,
all I can say.
I think it's cool
It's the
how
world's game.
yeah, I think it's cool how like the United States gets really involved with the Premier League. And it's like some people wish that like, hey, maybe they should come play games over here. But then we have the MLS, which isn't really. I mean, it's competitive, but it's not like on that level.
No, no.
If there was one MLS team, who's your team that you watch? If there's one,
Well, I don't know if this is gonna be a question later, but
no.
being from Maryland, I'd have to say DC United, but I don't. I mean, I start watching them now. If you know that Wayne Rooney has come to DC, but
Hmm.
and he's one of the most famous players
Oh,
from the Premier League, I'd say. I mean, I'd say a lot of people know.
yeah. Oh, easily.
But did you hear about the Spanish league, La Liga? They talked about having games in the United States,
Really, I didn't
but
know that.
it seems like a lot of the players didn't were against that, and that kind of makes sense because that's Spain to the United States is kind of a far trip, and I mean
Yeah, no, that's understandable. See,
that those
if I was to pick my team, Sporting Kansas City, 'cause that's the closest one to me right now.
yeah
But
yeah
I know I know it's not on that level. Whether St. Louis FC, it's you probably haven't probably heard of them. It's like I think it's a tier
no
lower than MLS.
yeah yeah they're
But
not in the MLS.
yeah, I know that for a fact. But yeah, there's a possible chance I might work there. So I mean, who knows? Things are
Oh,
up in the
that's
air.
cool.
Yeah, definitely. So what is your favorite color?
My favorite color, red, and I know that's not part of our team colors whatsoever, but I've just always been a fan of red.
That makes sense. That's the Cardinals color, and I'm a huge Cardinals fan for the Major League Baseball. So hey, that works for me. What is your go-to dish of like food? Like, what's your favorite food?
Go-to food, I don't. I mean, it's just hard to choose.
And or fast
Uh,
food if you want to throw that in there too.
mm,
That's if you eat fast food.
hmm. I'm trying to think what would be something. You can't go wrong. I'll say this: you can't go wrong with ribs,
Oh, I've had
baby
ribs in
back ribs. You
forever.
can't go wrong. Yeah, you can't go wrong. Especially you being from that
Yeah,
area where the
exactly.
St. Louis barbecue. Yeah, you can't go wrong with some baby back ribs. So
You know, it's something that's I don't know if I said this already on a podcast or not. I know I said this to like my colleagues and like my friends over here at my college. Never had steak.
really,
Never had it. Like
it's crazy.
I think I might have had like steak pieces, but I never had a full steak.
Wow, it's hard to believe. I
I,
can't.
it's like I kept thinking about it, and I was like, I've never had a steak before. I could legit throw that on the grill, steak. It's just like so that's what I always do when I'm like around people. I say that, so I'm hoping they like, hey, come over and have some steak with me. You know, a free meal. So you said baby back ribs. Do you eat any type of like fast food wise?
uh, I mean, yeah. It's not. I,
I
I mean,
mean,
if you're asking favorite,
yeah. What's your favorite fast food chain?
oh, I mean, you can't go wrong with Chick-fil-A. Whenever you have the chance, you always go for Chick-fil-A. It's not even an option.
You know,
It's not even.
keep going.
That's it. It's not even a difficult choice. It's Chick-fil-A all day, every day, 24/7, 24/7, 365 days out of the year.
You know, I can't eat Chick-fil-A anymore.
Really?
Well, at least I can't eat their fries.
Oh,
Because I have a
yeah.
reason for it. Because I worked at a Chick-fil-A for 3 years, and that smell gets to me every single time. I can't do it. I
Oh,
just can't.
oh,
I've worked in a
oh.
kitchen before at Chick-fil-A. I mean, it's not like there's a bad thing working at a kitchen and Chick-fil-A. It's not like people do anything stupid to the food and stuff. But man, best thing though on that menu is spicy chicken. Can't go wrong with spicy chicken. And their
You can't go
breakfast is
wrong
really
with
good.
anything on that menu.
Have you had their breakfast?
No, well, yes, I have had their
Okay, good.
breakfast
Because
before.
people are like, well, have you ever had breakfast at Chick-fil-A? Like, I don't think I've eaten chicken in the morning. It's actually not that bad.
I think you could just live off of Chick-fil-A for, I don't know if you'd want to go 7 days out of the week, but maybe like a day where you just only eat at Chick-fil-A.
Well, you really can't go
I think
7
you
days
could.
out of the week since they're closed on Sunday.
Oh, 6 days. 6 days.
uh, sorry about that.
No,
uh,
you're right. I forgot.
I for some reason this popped in my head. Like maybe a couple weeks ago, there was the National Cereal Day. What's your favorite cereal or go-to cereal?
Go-to cereal. I'd have to say Cocoa Puffs, just because that's just it's
Interesting.
just my childhood. Cocoa Puffs.
I asked that question to a lot of people on that day. Everybody was keep on saying either Fruity Pebbles or Fruit Loops. Like
Fruity
aren't they?
Pebbles. Yeah, those are good options too. Yeah.
I'm more of a I would say I'm more of a Captain Crunch guy, but I'm the person that doesn't get the name brand box. I'll get the Great Value bag that says Colossal Crunch at Walmart
Yeah.
because I think those taste better. That's just my opinion, though. So of course you are. I mean, you mean you're in the SFL, so you like football, correct? NFL.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who is your team?
Oh, I think you're gonna not like me for this, but the Steelers.
That's fine.
All Pittsburgh sports are my thing.
That's fine with me. You gave me Antonio Bryant. I'm completely okay with that. We gave you a bucket of footballs. I'm
You
okay.
could take him. You could just take him.
Oh really?
I'll do-
Oh, I'm so happy Antonio Brown is on the Raiders. I don't know why. It's just Derek Carr is just having so much fun with it right now because I'm hoping it's going to stay throughout the season because if Kyler Murray and or Dwayne Haskins becomes a Raider, I'm gonna be so mad. So with the Steelers, what I know last season Le'Veon Bell not there,
Yeah.
so now you don't have Antonio Brown. What's the deal? Is
Uh,
Juju the answer, and same with
yes.
I can't
Yes.
think of his name.
Juju's my favorite player on the team. He's just such a fun personality, and I don't know. You probably have you read up that much on him? Like, have you?
Oh yeah,
He's just
yeah. I thought it was funny.
yeah.
Was it during was it was it Halloween? He dressed as himself and went trick or treating.
Yes. Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah. He's just a fun guy, and he made his rookie season, which I guess was last year. No, yeah, this was only his second season. Last year he had this YouTube channel, and he made all these videos, and it was just fun watching him, and just because he's just so fun, and he's just and hopefully he stays loyal to the team, unlike these other two guys.
I'm trying to think who's their James Conner. Yeah, if he
Yeah,
stays
he's
healthy, is he going to be the guy?
I don't know. I saw that they were watching running backs at the combine maybe, and following running backs
Hmm.
at their pro days or their senior days, which so I don't know if they're going to go with him or not, but
See,
if he stayed healthy last season, I think he has a good year this season if he could stay healthy. Yeah.
do you follow much up on college football and stuff like that?
Yeah, yeah.
So I feel like the dark horse running back wise in this NFL draft is going to be Bryce Love from Stanford. I know he got
Bryce
hurt.
Love, yeah.
I know he got hurt, but I feel like he's going to do a lot of work in the NFL.
I think he might have hurt his stock whenever he decided not to go into the college after his junior season and stay for his senior season.
Yeah,
But
true.
that makes him a dark horse now, and maybe whoever gets him is getting a steal.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you. All right, so then my last question is, and feel free to answer if or not, what is one thing that's the most interesting about you that you should let the different Night Wings and the entire SFL community know?
Uh, I think I could share this. Yeah, I'm going to be majoring in computer engineering whenever I enter college this August.
Nice.
That's interesting enough.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh, that's a lot. I mean, I said the math question earlier, and you probably
Yeah.
could have answered that math question then.
No, 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 no. I don't think I could. I don't think I'll be having to be doing square roots on the spot. Hopefully, I'm hoping. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, that'd be painful. See, like, I mean, I'm graduating here pretty soon with a Bachelor of Science in Sports Media, so I'm hoping to do something with that. But you are going to get into that spot where you're going to make bank.
That's the plan.
And feel free to donate some to Kramer Sandstone. That's the real name. But once again, thank you so much for joining me, Josh. I know I was trying to pull some teeth, trying to get somebody on here to talk for some, I don't know, I think we got on 30 minutes. That's perfect time. But once again, thank you so much for coming on.
Well, thank you for having me. I've been wanting to do one of these, just haven't had the opportunity. Sorry for sounding a little sick, probably. I am sick right now, so...
Oh, you sound fine. I hope you get feeling better, though.
Thank you, but I've been wanting to do one of these, so thanks for having me on.
Yep, it's no problem. Once again, that was Josh Miller, the Denver Nightwings quarterback, and he's going to be leading us through this playoffs and hopefully to that title game. But as always, I'm Kramer Jackman, and when in doubt, yoga it out. Have a wonderful day.